Hello and welcome to Horror and Monster Collectibles, where today we are going to be taking a look at a true grail piece. This is Sideshow's infamous Pumpkinhead that came out in about 2006, and finally I was able to get my hands on one. Back in 2006 when this came out, I was not in the statue game, but this has been a long sought after piece for me. And I finally acquired one. This is actually an MGM sample. It's one of 3 that was made and sent to MGM, which they had up in there for display for their studios. And I am thrilled to have this piece. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to Ryan and Tyranny from our Facebook group called True Pop Culture Collectors. And it's a great group, by the way. I recommend you joining us. We talk about all kinds of cool stuff. It's mostly horror collectors on there, but we do have collectors that do DC and Marvel and stuff like that. But anyway, the backstory on this piece is that the seller lived in the SoCal area, and I live in Dallas, and he was unable to ship it because MGM or whatever along the way lost the box for Pumpkinhead. So obviously he didn't want to take the chance on shipping them without the box. But Ryan, my friend, was able to meet him out in the Mesa area. So the seller drove over to Mesa, and Ryan looked over the statue. I paid the seller, and then I drove out to the Mesa area to pick up Pumpkinhead from Ryan. Tyranny also helped me out as far as finding this piece and figuring out how to navigate all this stuff and have everything come together. When I went out there, I went over and saw her collection in person, and it is absolutely amazing. And Ryan and Ethan were super gracious, and they had the best hospitality. We stayed the night over there with them, and I saw Ryan's and Ethan's collection too, and they were absolutely stunning. But I know you guys don't care about that so much, but I just kind of want to give you a backstory on what I did to get this piece, which is really hard to obtain. And I just want to note how cool it is in our community, which is a pretty small community, when we help each other out. And that's what this is all about, is helping each other out, being supportive in the hobby that not most people get or understand. And that's what this is all about. It's just a friendship community, and that's the way it should be, and that's what the focus needs to be on. Enough about that. Let's go ahead and spin Pumpkinhead around, and then we will take a closer look. Alright, taking a closer look. Now, Pumpkinhead stands about 26.5 inches tall, and he is a quarter scale piece. And the detail is just absolutely amazing. It's very clear why this is a grail piece, especially for when it came out back in 2006. The paint app doesn't hold up exactly well to today's standards, although it is still a good paint app. But I think that I will be probably repainting him. But you can see all the vein work and stuff that they have in here. But he is absolutely killer. Another thing too is people kind of complain about prices in the hobby nowadays, but just as a reminder, Pumpkinhead here was $850 back in 2006. So yeah, prices are expensive now, but they kind of always have been to a certain extent. Again, this was a limited run of 150, and then they had 3 MGM samples, which this is one of those. But the base on here is absolutely incredible. This piece is very large and heavy. I will say that Pumpkinhead feels solid. The base, I don't feel like is completely solid. And Pumpkinhead is also one, speaking of solid, is one solid piece. So there are no separate arms or head sculpts or anything like that. He is just one piece. And he is supported by two large metal rods, which you can kind of see, one right here on both of his feet that go down into the base. And they extend down in there pretty deep. The detail work on the pumpkins is just absolutely incredible. I love how they have that, they've captured that wrought look. And then also just like the mud and stuff around here. Like, I just love this piece, guys. I know this piece isn't for everybody, but it is a grail piece for me. So allow me to kind of get excited about it and nerd out a little bit, because this has been so long desired. Go back up through here. One thing that I really don't care so much about is that the heavy shading. They used pretty heavy shading on this statue, and I kind of wish that it had been done a little bit different. Not saying that it's terrible, but I feel like it could use a repaint to today's standards. And I'm just so freaking thrilled to have finally got this piece. Detail in the mouth is just stunning. And the vein work in the eyes. The sculpt is all there. Like, I really just feel like it could use a little bit better paintwork. But again, this is an older piece, and for back in 2006, this was absolutely stunning, and it still is. I don't want to seem like I'm nitpicking, but like if I had to find a fault with this piece, it would be some of the paint apps, which I've seen a repaint or two on this guy, and it just looks absolutely incredible. So I think that might be the road that I go down when I have time to actually tackle something like that. The last Pumpkinhead I repainted took me a while, and I really don't want to invest that amount of time right now, as busy as life is. And I just love the pose that he's in. He's got that motion to him. And I don't know how you guys feel about Pumpkinhead, but for me, I love Stan Winston's design more than I love the movies. I just fell in love with the creature design, and also love the story that, you know, it's a creature of revenge. But I really feel like the movies didn't do Pumpkinhead justice. This is, and you guys might like hate me for saying this, but like, this is a movie where, or a series of movies, but really where like I would love to see a remake. I would love to see like a new Pumpkinhead, keep the same creature design obviously, but just a better movie for him, a better shot, a better, just all around movie. It's a great movie for what it is and for what it was back in the day, but I would kind of really love to see a new one made with a bigger budget and just some really cool practical effects shots in it. And I'm going to spin him around real quick because I feel like I'm not getting some good shots for you guys. It's hard to do it and hold the camera. But yeah, I just love him so much. Finally got him. And he will not be going anywhere. These guys are hard to find and rarely come up for sale, and when they do, they're insanely priced. So that's about it, guys. There's not a whole lot to go over here. He's basically two pieces, the base and Pumpkinhead himself, which is just incredible that they did him in one piece. I can only imagine what a pain in the ass it was to cast that in a single piece. But I love him. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments on the movies themselves, and of course, Pumpkinhead, the statue. I love it. It is a grail for me. I know a lot of people may not be a grail for, but for me personally, it is, and I am so thrilled to have this in my collection, guys. You have no idea. Or maybe you do, because I've been gushing on it for the past few minutes. But anyway, just leave your thoughts and comments. I'd love to hear them. I love Pumpkinhead so much. Stan Winston is probably my favorite creature design from him. I just wish Pumpkinhead would get a better movie. And I'd love to see if you guys agree or disagree with that. So what I'll do here is I will leave you guys with some studio shots. And as always, feel free to like and subscribe and click the bell for notifications for new videos. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.